This video is going to teach you how to clearly reveal whether someone is actually supporting your harmonious twin flame union journey or quietly working against it. And I'm going to do this in a way that's super black and white because I know how confusing it can be when it comes to relationships. So I'm going to share the unhealthy patterns that I've experienced personally from people who didn't support my harmonious twin flame union, and also the patterns of people who do support you, so that you know who to keep close, who to have boundaries with, and who you might even need to release. Because the people around you, they affect your energy, they affect your vibration, and they affect your ability to manifest, attract, and maintain your harmonious twin flame union. And I also want to say this up front. This is not about judging anyone or pointing fingers. I'm not here to expose people. I'm just here to help you simply recognize the patterns. Because when you're on the twin flame journey, your relationships are not random. They're revealing what needs healing, and they're also showing you what support actually looks like. So let's get into it. So part one, signs that someone is not supporting your union. Pattern one, they're going to side with the abuse. This is the first and biggest sign, is when you genuinely reach out for support and the person you're reaching out to agrees with the abuser. So let me give you a real life example from my life. So I was watching a twin flame ascension school class, which literally helps me manifest my harmonious twin flame union. I was just sitting there doing my inner work and minding my business. And a family member of mine disconnected the Wi-Fi because they didn't agree with me being on my twin flame journey. And it was devastating. It didn't feel good. I paid for that class. I wasn't hurting anyone. And so I called my mom and I was like really upset and crying and I was really hurting. And she basically reinforced that I was crazy, or even, excuse my French, like fucked up, I think was probably the words that were used. And that the person who pulled the Wi-Fi on me did the right thing. And I just remember feeling like gutted and like deep, deep pain that there was just like no way forward here with this relationship. And I'm sharing this because I want you to understand that that isn't love, that isn't support, that isn't safety. And if you've grown up with that kind of treatment your whole life, you might not even realize. You might actually think, oh, they're probably right. But I'm here to tell you that that's not love. Pattern number two, they sideline while you're being mistreated. So the second pattern is where someone just kind of ignores what's going on. They sideline themselves. They don't help, they don't protect you, they don't speak up, and they act like they don't really know what to do. So they just stay there quiet. For me, this was my perspective or intuition around my biological father. I think deep down, like eventually he sided with him, but I think deep down he knew what was right, but kind of, I don't know. He's been with my mom his whole life, so it's probably more deeply ingrained in him. He didn't want to like rock the boat, or he didn't want to like lose his family. So he would just like agree with what everyone else thought or just stay neutral about it. But the truth is, like, being neutral while someone is being mistreated isn't neutral, it's enabling. And if you've experienced this, you know what I mean, right? So the third pattern is hidden judgment and masked anger. Just a reminder, these are patterns of someone who doesn't support your harmonious twin flame union. So this is a pattern that people miss the most. And it's when someone acts supportive on the surface. They'll be like, yeah, let's go and do this like old times, or let's go grab a coffee, or let's go out, I'll buy you something. I'm here for you. But when you actually go and relate to them and hang out with them, you can feel it. There's anger, there's judgment, there's resentment. They want to say the thing, that they feel about what you're doing. And it's like there's a mask over it, but the energy in the room is heavy, right? And you just like walk away feeling bad and drained and heavy. And like, then you have to work through all of this stuff. Like, yeah, it's just heavy. It's not supportive. And on the twin flame journey, when you need to hold a a high, loving, and peaceful vibration, those relationships are going to weigh on you. And the final message I want to share here with unsupportive relationships is that any form of abuse is still abuse, right? So you might ask yourself, is the abuse big enough to be considered abusive? And what I learned from my twin flame teachers, Jeff and Shalia, who guided me all the way into my Harmonious Twin Flame Union, is that there's no such thing as a scale of abuse. There's no such thing as a little bit of abuse or lots of abuse. It's all abusive, and you deserve loving relationships, period. So let's switch here and look at what supportive and loving relationships for your Harmonious Twin Flame Union look like. What do they feel like when you're manifesting your Harmonious Twin Flame Union? It looks like someone who genuinely cares about your well-being, not from control, not from fear, but from love. They see you for who you are at the core, and they want you to thrive. They accept you. They want you to succeed. They want the love to grow in your life. Sometimes the support won't feel soft. Like maybe it's some strong direction from your coach or your guide. Sometimes they might call you out for your patterns or reflect your patterns back to you. But the difference is you can feel in your heart that they're on your side. And in their life, they're also choosing to love themselves and grow the love in their life. Now, I want to be also really careful here. This video is not meant for you to just start cutting people from your life overnight. It's not meant for you to label anyone. Revealing relationships is a process, and sometimes it can be delicate. Sometimes it can be very clear and easy, and you've been in it for years and you know what the right choice is and you've just got to leave. But sometimes you're triggered and that person is just helping you heal something. And sometimes you heal and that relationship then upgrades. And for me, revealing these relationships that were abusive, it wasn't clear for me from the beginning. I dipped in and out of boundaries. I tried my best to work through the experience, and I eventually got clear that those relationships didn't make it easy for me, didn't support the love in my life. So if you've experienced any of these patterns, comment below and tell me what you've experienced. And if you're not sure whether something is love or not, I'll might be able to give you some insights. And if you're wanting the answer on how to manifest your union and you're ready to heal separation and come into union with your twin flame, I offer one-on-one coaching sessions. I offer group coaching, and I can guide you into your union. I also offer free discovery calls if you want to take that next step before coaching. Thanks for watching. Good work for investing in your union and your knowledge, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.